Hello and welcome to Doing More. I'm Cardenas, and thanks for joining me on a stroll through the desert. Today we're in the beautiful South Mountain Park and Preserve in Phoenix. With over 51 miles of trails, it's one of the largest city parks in the country. In fact, 3 separate mountain ranges make up the park. I'm on a very special trail today designed to be accessible by everyone, from parents with strollers and young children to the visually impaired and those in wheelchairs and walkers. It's called the Judith Tunnel Accessible Trail, and recently some Cox volunteers spent the day working on the 1-mile trail as part of the Earth Day Adopt a Trail program. We'll have more on that later, but first, a Doing More good news story about a Cox communications program called Connect2Compete. It's creating lots of unexpected opportunities and brighter futures.
Today we are hosting our Cox Connect2Compete computer distribution. We're giving away 50 computers to family members from the Osborne School District. Families who qualify for our Connect2Compete program have an opportunity to purchase a computer for $10 today. Okay. In order to qualify for Connect2Compete, families have to have a child enrolled in the free school lunch program, plus they cannot be a current Cox customer or have any existing debt with Cox. If they qualify, they get our high-speed internet for $9.95 a month, guaranteed for up to 2 years. It's so important for Cox to provide our Connect2Compete program for our community because we know that this helps bridge our digital divide.
I think the most important way that having internet access impacts a student's academic career is one of the ways in which technology is changing in education. Most of the supplemental materials that a school may go ahead and invest in are online now. Back in the day, we used to order books, student edition, teacher edition. Now we have online programs, and our students are able now, for the first time ever, to utilize those programs at home. So in addition to the great classroom instruction that they're getting, they're also able to get additional help at home at their level. They start at the level that they're at that point, and then having an online program at home allows them to grow at the pace to which is best for them.
We realize when families have access to the internet, it opens their access to the world. Not only does it help the child with their schoolwork, but it allows families to communicate with family members in other countries, apply for jobs, search online for doctors. It opens up a whole new world for them.
It's one of those things that you say it's too good to be true, and all throughout your life, those opportunities are truly too good to be true. Except for once, this is one of those times that it's really true, and they're going to be able to get internet at a fantastic price for 2 years.
We've held a couple of computer distributions with numerous school districts across the valley. To see the child's face light up when they realize they're going to go home with a new computer and access to internet, it's priceless. It's amazing.
It's so nice to see the smiles on the faces of those families getting their computers. I'm really enjoying my walk through our beautiful Sonoran desert, and it's wonderful to know this is a trail that everyone can enjoy. The trail consists of 2 half-mile loops, and there are water fountains, benches, and ramadas for when you need a little break or just want to sit and enjoy the scenery, which is what I'm about to do. We'll be back with more Doing More right after this.
For more great videos highlighting all that's happening across Arizona, visit Yurview.com. Explore more ways that people are leading healthier lives. Head over to Yurview.com for additional videos from your health.
Welcome back to Doing More. I'm at South Mountain Park and Preserve in Phoenix, enjoying a beautiful hike through our desert landscape. It's unseasonably cool today and a perfect morning to enjoy all the desert has to offer. We just shared a great story with you about the Connect2Compete program and how having a computer in the house increases the odds of student success. Now I want to share another great story about an organization that's helping students focus on being college-bound.
College Bound is a resource, a free resource for the community to help students get to college. If you haven't had anybody in your family that's been to college, then that can be a pretty daunting task. So it's important for students to be able to leverage all the skills that they have to get the scholarships that they're available to them. And that's what our program is about, is to maximize all of their potential and wrap it up into a package so that they're ready to go to college. We start in the 8th grade all the way through high school. And what we've found is that there are certain touch points to help students acquire as they're coming up through high school so that they're ready for college. And so we call that the 6-step critical path to college. And so we make sure that they're touching on all of those points. The first one being GPA management. Are you getting the tutoring you need? Are you getting the homework in? What are the problems that you're experiencing? Because if you can keep your grade point up, then we can help you with the rest of it too. And the second thing would be their community service and extracurricular activities. Do they know that they need to perform community service to not only help the community, but to round themselves out and to demonstrate to a university that they're willing to take that extra step to develop their leadership skills? And then the next step would be university track classes. So we teach them about taking an advanced placement or dual enrollment or those kinds of classes that are going to position them for college. I just wanted to give a shout out to the interns who are serving with us here at Sequoia Secondary School. I was able to coach them on how to coach kids. It's successful. In fact, we have one sophomore who has been accepted into a summer leadership program, the Cesar Chavez Leadership Program, which is very prestigious and very hard to get into. Had this program not been at this school, had these interns not taken the time to learn and to apply what they learned, she wouldn't be going. But she is going to go, and she's going to make her mark on the world because she can.
My biggest takeaway from College Bound would be the people I met, the connections I made, and I do recommend it. It does help you become more outspoken. It helps you learn stuff that you might not necessarily learn in high school. It's just something that one would need to be better in life, I just think.
I would just use the words of the students, that College Bound to them is family. It's family. We meet with them on a regular basis. We meet the students where they are. One of the elements of our program is providing food boxes when necessary. There's no judgment on anything. It's like, come as you are. Let's get you going where you'd like to go. And as long as you're willing to dedicate yourself, we are dedicated to you. So that's what the kids say. It's family. And to me, they're all my family.
I do want to thank Liz for helping me with everything, introducing me into College Bound, and just like help set me straight to my success.
College Bound is a great program, and we love stories about people helping people. And that was the case recently in Santa Barbara when the community was devastated by forest fires and floods. The natural disasters impacted both residents and small businesses, but the community has come together to rebuild and is again open for business.
My name is Greg Mishkin. This is my wife, Jennifer Mishkin. We own and operate the Pacific Crest Hotel here on East Beach in Santa Barbara.
During the fire in December, Greg and I were here at the hotel. We could see the fire from the hills once it made it to Santa Barbara.
During the heaviest part of them, for about 2 to 3 weeks, the ash was so thick, I tell people all the time it was almost like a volcano went off.
Before the fire and the floods, we would normally in this time period, in the Christmas time period, be at 80–90% occupancy. And after it came, because of the news around the world, it came to maybe 20–30% during that time.
So after the debris flow happened and the freeway was shut down for a couple of weeks, and that was quite devastating to the community in many ways. As you can imagine, a lot of the hospitality-facing organizations, they just suffered. This is hit during a time where hospitality organizations are relying on that. Retail organizations are relying on that time period for their bread and butter.
My name is Ted Singley. I work here at the Impact Hub. The Impact Hub is a collaborative co-working space. So what the Impact Hub provides is a shared office environment where people are able to come in, get their work done, meet with other people to cross-communicate and collaborate on different projects or ideas. After the fire and the floods, the Impact Hub played a huge part in the community of Santa Barbara by helping people get back to work and get back to their core business. Our space really transformed into a community center during these disasters. So with the nature of more people in the space came the issue of bandwidth usage and just more people on the internet. So we called our partners at Cox. We said, hey, you know, it's a bit of a disaster here. You know, we need more usage. We have a lot more people on the network. Cox was able to come through in shining colors, worked right inside with our IT firm by increasing that bandwidth and made sure everyone stayed connected and making sure the important things that people had to get done got done quickly and got done efficiently.
It was very challenging because in most scenarios, we deal with fire a lot of times when our network is down. You know, we're usually the first one, along with the electrical company, to be out there. We are able to quickly work and get internet restored, phone services restored, and try to get the businesses and customers back online.
Everything's kind of back to normal now, and people need to start coming here. It's nice to see the guests coming back and enjoying the beauty of East Beach.
We want the public to know that we're open for business and everything, the air is clear, the pool is clean, the beach is nice, and we're ready to welcome you back to Santa Barbara.
Good people coming together to help other people. Definitely a doing more story, and we have lots more to share, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
At Arizona Living, we're always looking for ways to enhance our lives. You can find more of our great lifestyle tips at Yurview.com.
Hi, I'm Erica Cardenas, and welcome back to Doing More. We're at the stunningly beautiful South Mountain Park in Phoenix, exploring the Judith Tunnel Accessible Trail. It's a great trail for people of all abilities and a great place to see a great variety of birds and animals. Every animal wants to create a safe home, and that can be a challenge in the desert. I guess animals aren't that different than you or me. We want our families to be safe too, and someone who knows all about that is Safety Mom, who recently shared some good advice.
Well, this is the Cox Smart Home, where we're demonstrating over 50 connected devices powered by Cox high-speed internet. Come on inside and have a look.
I've got to. Wow.
Hey, Carla. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for coming by.
I couldn't resist after the greeting.
I know, right? It's everything that we had ever dreamed imaginable. It's connected independence.
Finally.
So everybody can stay living in the house regardless of their age, their ability. It is accessible for everybody. So let's go check some stuff out.
We've got.
Okay.
So Allison, tell me, there are a lot of different devices in here for a lot of different reasons, and I know that you are personally invested in all of them in some way. Why?
Well, as you probably know, I'm known as the Safety Mom, and my whole thing is about keeping the entire family safe. I know about that because I've got my 88-year-old aunt living with us, my 80-year-old mom living with us. My husband has primary progressive MS, so he's in a wheelchair full time. My 19-year-old has intellectual disabilities, plus I have 2 teen girls.
Okay.
So,
whoa, you said enough right
exactly.
there.
So I live this 24/7, and I'm on the road constantly. So not only do I need to make sure everybody's safe in the home, but I need to run my home.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So with Cox Home Life, I can do that.
And I'm going to need, I don't want to say help, but I want to have that option later on in my life as well.
And you're not the only one. 119 million seniors will be in this country by the year 2020, and 75% of them will have a disability. Now, we all want to age in place, 90% do, but you have to have it accessible. And let me tell you, until you have someone in your home who has a disability or is getting older, you don't think about it. But you have to be able to control that environment to allow them to live at home. And let me tell you, it's a lot cheaper and a lot nicer than living in an assisted living facility.
Very, very good point. Wow.
Yeah, so throughout this house, you're going to see so many cool things.
I saw a fork.
It's a smart fork, and it's not for me to say, hey, put down the fork and stop eating, which, you know, could help.
Fine.
Exactly. But it is for my aunt because sometimes she forgets to eat. So I'm going to actually know. But then also what you're going to see in this house is there is a pet food dispenser. So actually, if you've got a senior who may actually forget to feed the pet, it will automatically do it.
So there are a lot of different options, but how tough is it to set them up?
So there's an app where you can check it out, but then they'll come out, set up everything for you, and
nice.
adjust it to what's right for your style and what you need in your life. So it's so easy to do.
I love that.
And you either can just get the home automation or, like I said, the traditional security. You can have them both, whatever fits your need. And then you're going to see so many other things in here. Telemedicine, that's so important.
Okay, thanks, Doc.
Contour. It's the home of the future here today.
Well, Allison, it's been great talking with you. You've been a wealth of information.
Good advice from Safety Mom. This accessible trail that we're on today is meant to make everyone feel included, and there's something very similar happening in Arkansas. It's a film camp for young people with disabilities. Take a look.
All right, here we go. Let's roll this.
Welcome to Film Camp 2018. Each group is going to be responsible for making a short film. We're going to put together this film in like 3 days after we shoot everything, and it's going to premiere at the Bentonville Film Festival.
The things that we'll do here is we'll write, we'll act, we'll run slate, we'll assist and direct.
I never been into acting, so this is my first time.
Diversity and inclusion is not something that we just say on a daily basis, but it's something we live. And so the opportunity to partner with these great organizations to bring this camp and then ultimately a film to the Bentonville Film Festival is just something we're very excited about.
We thought it was very important that a festival highlight films that are created by different types of storytellers.
We don't look at this week as the beginning and the end. It's really our opportunity once a year to get everybody together, all the decision makers, to measure, learn, and change, as I like to say. It becomes a very big networking opportunity for content creators, for our sponsors and advertisers, to talk about how they can do a better job when they leave Bentonville in the jobs that they have to promote diversity and inclusion.
We've been involved with the film festival from the start, and we've continued to look for opportunities for us to get involved. And when we were approached with the idea of kind of owning this event and being part of the development of this film camp, it was just something that was right up our alley and fit right in with things we're looking to do.
We have a special gift on behalf of Cox. It's a GoPro camera, basically, so that you guys can all continue your passion of filmmaking.
The whole concept of doing more in Arkansas is something that's featured on our Cox channel of Yurview, and we go around the communities in which we serve and highlight the ways that not only we but the partners in those communities participate and make those communities a better place to live. And whether it's outdoor activities, whether it's something like the Bentonville Film Festival, it's just a great way to highlight the uniqueness that is Northwest Arkansas.
We just fell in love with this town, and it really is the quintessential all-American town. It looks like we built it to be adorable and gorgeous.
The region itself of Northwest Arkansas is really incredible, and it's committed itself significantly to the arts. One of the things that we're working on is trying to get crews here, because state hasn't been in that business before, but we're working on a program to try to bring as many trained professionals here as possible. We hope to be able to create opportunity for all filmmakers of all types.
That's a wrap here at Bentonville, Arkansas.
There's more good news coming your way when Doing More returns right after this. Welcome back to Doing More. I've been enjoying the Judith Tunnel accessible trail here at South Mountain Park and Preserve. There are all kinds of interesting things to see, smell, and hear, although I wouldn't recommend touching anything. But trails don't just happen. Occasionally, they need some work. And that's how our Cox volunteers in Phoenix and Tucson celebrated Earth Day.
We're at the Judith Tunnel Trail. It's named for one of our top leaders on disability issues at the city of Phoenix, and it is our first fully accessible trail. We have 56 miles just of trails in this park alone. It is beloved, but with all that love, it gets a little bit of wear and tear, and today Cox is going to help us make investments to keep our trails looking strong and beautiful.
It's the first trail in the city of Phoenix that was adopted by Cox Communication, and it's history right now in the making.
3, 2, 1.
The Adopt a Trail program is brand new for the city of Phoenix, and this is a historic moment to have
Cox Communications listed as a supporter right next to the City of Phoenix in the maintenance of the Judith Tunnel Trail.
It's a beloved park, and we really need the public's help to keep it looking strong and to support the nature and the ecosystem that is here. So thank you to Cox for being our partner.
We have about 100 volunteers from the Cox Communication that are out here cleaning the trail. It's just great to see all these blue shirts out here. It looks like they're city employees, but no, they're actually volunteers cleaning our trails for the community. So that's what Cox is all about, is giving back to the community.
Maintaining the trails at South Mountain Park is critical. As the largest municipal park in the nation, you can imagine, it's a huge undertaking. 56 miles of trails. So to have Cox Communications come in, again, as an early supporter in our Adopt a Trail program is huge. This will launch, I'm sure, lots of other individuals and corporations alike to want to participate in such a great cause.
This park was really built by volunteers. The Civilian Conservation Corps came and helped develop it, and the trails have been maintained by our amazing volunteers. So this is part of a proud portion of the history of South Mountain Park that volunteers are giving back.
I really want to thank Cox for making this historic moment for the City of Phoenix and the Parks Foundation for coming up with this great idea and helping all our hikers connect humans with nature and bringing everyone together and to look at this wonderful desert that we have out here. So thank you for using our preserves, thank you for using our trails, and thank you for Cox for partnering up and making our trails more beautiful.
Thank you to Cox for being our very first Adopt a Trail partner. We hope it'll be a point of pride for Cox employees who can come out and see evidence that they are giving back all the time.
With Cox Communications being the first supporter and participant in the Adopt a Trail program, it really sends a very strong signal that we as a community are all in this together. For more information on the Adopt a Trail program, visit Phoenix Parks Foundation website at phxparksfoundation.org.
That does it for another edition of Doing More. I'm Erica Cardenas. Thanks so much for joining me. I think I'll do one more loop around the park before I go. After all, I have to enjoy this nice weather while I can. See you next time.